Hi, hello guys. This is 12 o'clock in Brazil. So we're starting Conscientiogram without drama. Once more, this is the second class of the third edition of this course. I welcome you. Last class we were discussing some fundamentals to start understanding the course. It would be good to have some feedback right away from you guys if you're having any trouble as far as connection is concerned, sound and everything, to see if we can give you some support, and also feedback to know if you had any trouble to get online this time. Last time we had the class, we also uploaded the class. The class is open to the ones that haven't been able to be attending last class. They can watch the recorded version. Downloading it from our site is open. You can download it from YouTube as well. It's open. You can watch it again if you want to watch again or see something that you missed from last class, because there is some contents that is interesting. Also, I would like, if you can, to tell me if it's the first time, if you have had any experience with conscientiology so far, right? Today you're seeing just two teachers.
Yeah.
Me and Djalma, to the ones that don't know me, we've been here last class, and also
I'm Magali. I was also here last class, so it's the second class now. So welcome.
Yeah.
Everyone. We cannot see you, but you can see us, and you can also send messages, so then we can interact a little bit more. Okay.
At any time, if you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free, because the objective of the course is actually more in terms of a debate than anything else. It's much richer when you come with your own doubts. They might seem sometimes very basic, but don't think that, because a lot of people might have the same doubt as you having. So please feel free to ask whatever doubt you might be having at this point, okay, or at any point. And we have some support. The guys will pass us the questions, and we'll be glad to be answering you can ask anything, and I reserve the right to answer just the ones that I know. Okay? the ones that I don't know, I will actually tell you that I don't know. So, right? But it's very open, very democratic. You can ask anything if you like.
Yeah. And it's good to say, I don't know if you said already, that we are in a testing here, no?
Oh, yeah.
That is the first time we are using now YouTube. So we are testing. Just let us know about this, if it is improved. For those that has been in the first class, you can see if it's better or not, and send us the feedback, okay guys? And we are gonna try to find the best way also. Just to improve our class here, the sound, the interaction, everything.
Yeah, the quality and everything.
Yeah, we ask you patience for this moment, no?
Yes.
But the content will be the same. No?
Yes, very true. And especially the open classes, which are the three first ones, they are open. The last class that was last week, this class, and the next class still gonna be open. So you don't have to commit to paying for the classes or anything. You're gonna understand how it works, what is conscientiometry, if you like to be introduced in the subject. So this is gonna be on YouTube. Probably after we start with a formal class, we're going to be using another tool. But the ones that enroll, the ones that decide to enroll, they will be contacted, and of course you're going to be aware of the technology we're going to be using for for the forthcoming classes. So this class we are going to be covering, just to understand, we're going to be covering more of this book. I know that we have introduced the book on last class. This is the book Conscientiogram. When we say Conscientiogram without drama, we are talking about this book. And actually, this is not a simple book. It's a very profound kind of book, and it also helps you develop a whole new frame of mind, a whole new way of thinking about ourselves. So there are two big things to understand here. The book itself, which is very profound with a lot of details pertaining the technology, pertaining conscientiology, pertaining conscientiometry. And the second thing that I think is even a bigger challenge is to learn to look into ourselves. It's a very big challenge, but it's also a very nice challenge, which is very pleasurable. In the beginning, sometimes we get a little, nervous, or you get anxious to know things about ourselves that we're not used to look into. But as soon as we make it clear, anything that we make clear about ourselves is a very pleasant catharsis process. It's a very pleasant way of, let's say, relaxing our structure, It's very interesting, the process that we go through. As much as we diagnose, as much as we have better cognition, better understanding of ourselves. Socrates used to say that not very long ago, like 2,000 years, he would say, you know yourself. And this is a small phrase, but it's a big deal because it's a whole life worth. So this course is very ambitious because we want to do that in 6 months. So 6 months is a period where we're going to be developing some nice habits, right? You're going to be developing your routines, how to do this. It's good to have your own routine. Just like exercising your muscles, it's good to exercise your discernment, what we call our para-brain. It's another brain that we have. We have a better, broader, wider, wiser, more intelligent brain than this physical one that is very limited. And this one is the one that we're actually focusing on this course.
And that's what you're saying is really important, because once you start in the book, sometimes with the major of people happens that they get stuck. It's difficult. They think about, I'm not capable, that is too difficult. So that is the way. You have to go through this part, this how can I say? This
challenge.
This challenge to get through this para-brain. Then your ideas starts to come and you understand more. So in the beginning, it's really difficult. But you can count on us, because I think we passed through that, Djalma? Even Djalma, that is so intelligent now, seems so... He has...
Just an impression.
No, he has this thing of going, beyond the questions. And that is what we are developing here. Go beyond the questions. It's not only about the question, it's about what it comes with the question. So the extra-physical thing. So
this extra-physical way of thinking, very good extra-physical paradigm, the way of thinking differently. That's what we like to help you guys to do. Very, very good point Magali is bringing up. A lot of people start trying to do the Conscientiogram by themselves. Very little actually, is able to cover all the books. So the objective of this book is to actually help you develop some of the techniques, develop the habits, and overcome some of the difficulties that usually people have as far as interpretation is concerned, as far as personal difficulties that might block you from actually going further into your own self-research.
Yes, and there is an extra-physical team and an intra-physical team. Our interphysical team is not just the teachers, and there is a back of people that is gonna answer you, helping you with your question also, and with the difficulties you're having. So during the week, as you're gonna see, you might start to do the conscientiogram and have questions. So you're gonna send that question to us, and we, in our time, we are going to answer that for you. So don't worry, because the book is difficult to our brain, but not to our consciousness. It's just an adjustment that we have to do in the beginning.
Yeah, very, very good. Yeah. Don't worry too much about that. Of course, it's also done in a way of very dynamic to help you work with that, and creating what we call one of the most important things is the energetic field. What is an energetic field? You know that we all have energies. We have an energetic body, right? Everyone has an energetic body, and everyone has their personal energetic field, which is your holosphere, the energetic sphere. But when there is a group of people surrounded with a certain objective and you have some technique involved, we develop what we call an energetic field. And the energetic field might be done by yourself while you're doing your self-analysis, or yourself and the helpers, or together as a group, as we're having here. So the classes in general, what they provide to you is an energetic field. In this energetic field, usually things get easier. It's easier to diminish the distance between the brain and the parabrain. That's the idea, right? So that's the idea of the field. Yeah. So this field helps you out with that.
You're talking about something that is really important. That is one of the optimizations.
Yes.
That is, every time you're going to work with the conscientiogram, create a field for you. Even if you are in your house or in your office, create a field that you can work with this book. Because as we are telling, it's not only intraphysical things, it's astrophysical. And sometimes we evoke lots of consciousness to be treated. Our past life, also our previous period in this life. So we have to be really careful about our hygiene in our environment. The environment we are working with the conscientiogram. Here is easy because we go to holoteca or holociclo, but you guys, you have to find your own place. Some of you already have this, no? For the ones that don't have it, please do your own space, a place that you can sit and really study the conscientiogram, okay?
Usually the same place helps you create this holothosene, this energetic environment to work. Talking about energies, now is 12:15. All classes by this time we do an energetic work. So at this moment we request you at home to try to be more alone. If you can, you lock the door if you live with more people in order not to be interrupted, or try to diminish lights if you can, and all other things that might interfere with energetic exercise for the next around 15 minutes. Okay?
For those who is having problem with the image or is something, the guys here are trying to solve it. And so let's just now, if you can hear us, just work with our voice and just the energetic, the audio and the energetic exercise, okay?
Okay. So if you can, you might even lie down or sit down in a nice position, comfortable position, where you can be still for a couple of minutes without, bothering yourself and any disturbance. Very good. So we need now to start relaxing the body. If you want, you may close your eyes. Take some deep breath. Try to relax your muscles. As we relax our muscles, the tendency is to expand the energies. So, at this moment that you relax the muscles, you start what we call a discoincidence. Initially, an energetic discoincidence, an energetic expansion. So try to observe those energies. The flow of energies inside and out. In your body, in the surroundings. Observe the environment in this room where you are now. Let's start exteriorizing. So just think about pushing the energies from your inner self outside. You don't have to do any contractions in the physical body, just your will. Your energies are very docile to your thoughts. They respond to your thoughts, to your will. So push those energies in waves or impulses. Subsequent pulses. Try to fill out the room you're in. Always observe where it's hard to push the energies. See if there is a place or an object or something where energies are hard to flow in your environment. This is what we call an energetic sweep. Continuously exteriorize energies to the environment. Impulses. Observe the energies, observe the thoughts, the inspirations, the ideas, the feelings that you might be having during this process. Now revert the energy, invert the direction and absorb, pull the energies to yourself. This will make you interact even more to the field that's been installed everywhere. Energy has no space, no time. We are in one field across the globe. Absorb those energies. Try to compensate areas that might be hurting. There might be pressure, small headaches. Pressure in your chest, over your cardiac chakra area, that's the area close to your heart, a little bit to the left. And now let's move the energies all to the top of your head. Pull the energies to the top of your head. Let's accumulate a big bucket of energies on the top of your head. Now take this bulk, this bucket, whatever, and push it down through your head, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, all the way down to your feet. Go slowly but very intensely. Try to break down any barriers. Wash up, rinse, deblock everything in the way, down to the feet, to your feet. As you get to your feet, you come back very intensely to your head. Even just with just 2 movements, you might feel that you are all turned on, like a small vibration, or you see that you've been lit at some point. You're on. That's what we call vibrational state. If you don't feel on, continue. Even if you feel, continue. Little by little, increase the speed. Until you really turn on, you really get into a sort of a incandescent, sort of a flame, sort of a vibrating kind of state. That's what we call vibrational state. Continue moving the energy to hold this state longer. You will see that's easier to maintain it. At some point, even if you stop, it's going to maintain by itself. Now you can stop moving the energies, but continue analyzing the situation, just the way we analyzed in the beginning. Analyze your holosphere. Analyze your personal sphere, your micro-universe. Analyze the environment around you, your room. Observe it. Compared to the beginning. Very good. Now little by little, start breathing deeper, doing small movements, so that you come back to the coincidence of your vehicles. Everybody's okay there? If anyone want to comment anything about what you experienced, some people might be the first time. Please do so.
It's good to know how many of you are there. We are seeing here, and we see that there is, Regina could not stay, but she will be back, right? I don't know. Hayden is there, is waving. Manuel already told me that she is there, hearing us. I don't know if she can get the sound yet.
Regina
is here.
Helena, also Sandra and David from Puerto Rico.
Sandra and David. Marcos. So let's see. Yes, that's it for now. But if there is someone else with that is there and is not getting a message or doesn't cannot write a message to us, just enter in contact with. We are sending you an email here, no, in the group, that they can enter in contact. Okay.
Very good. Very good. So today, our objective to cover the class, what we have is we're going to be studying the Conscientiogram. We're going to be talking about the technique of analysis and how to give grades. It's important to give grades here. The whole thing comes down to some percentage, to some grades that you're going to give yourself. A couple of them, just 2,000. So, so it's an interesting thing to do. It's a very nice thing to do. And we're also going to discuss the chronogram, so how the classes usually are distributed, you know, those 2 hours.
And also the optimizations that we can use to study the Conscientiogram, and also the commitments, the online course commitments that we have here. I see that Sophia also entered here. Hello, Sophia.
Sophie from Berlin.
Yeah, Sophie from Berlin is here too.
Yes.
So let's start by Conscientiogram.
Conscientiogram.
So I'm going to introduce you the Conscientiogram, the first part. So you can go to page 39 for those who already have the book, or you all received the archive also, no?
The PDF, yeah.
The PDF of the book. So to start with the Conscientiogram, it's good you can just, you know, go around, see all that is included. We have here index, no, that tell us all that is inside the book.
Table of contents.
Yes, table of contents.
Table of contents.
Yes.
Right in the beginning, I think it's the third page.
Third page.
You have table of contents that covers most of the things. We talked about introduction to conscientiometry and conscientiology. Now we're going to be talking on this, how to use the conscientiogram.
Yes, you're going to encounter some mistake there. If you want, you can send us, but we also are marking here for the new version, no? The new edition. We are going to change that. So, and then we have this table of contents. And now we are going to go to the Conscientiogram. That is, I'm going to ask you to explain the Conscientiogram. I'm going to ask you to go to the first evaluation sheet. That is 59.
Page 58 and 59.
58 and 59. Okay? So the Conscientiogram is has this appearance. Now each evaluation sheet has 2 pages. We have here a header that is that has the section, the title, the subject, and evaluation sheet number. Okay, I will explain all that, but just to you to have a general information. We have 20 items. We call items because it's not only questions. We have also affirmative statements here, no?
Yes, yes.
You're gonna see always the first and the last question is not a question. Item is not a question. Sometimes we say question, but is item, okay? Because the first and the last one is an affirmative, okay? It is what we have. We have 2,000 items. That some people say 2,000 questions in the whole book. That is where we are gonna answer, or we are gonna give not the answer but grade these items. No, give us a score about each of these items. So 2,000 items, and we have 100 evaluation sheet. So 100 evaluation sheet with 20 items. And if we have here 10 sections that I would like you to go now.
Back to 39.
Back to page 14.
14.
Now.
Okay,
14. In the page 14, we have, I don't think you're gonna see that, no? But so I'm gonna just turn it off.
Yes.
And in that page 14, we have the variables that are sections of our book. We have 10 sections. So the first one, intrasomaticity, that is all about our soma. It's about this soma. The second one, bioenergetics, anti-emotionality, and rationality. So these 4 first sections is about our holosoma. So we are going to study our holosoma. And it's amazing because we talk about holosoma, but when we go through the questions, you see that we amplify a lot about soma,
the understanding of the different
about the holosoma.
Yeah, different bodies or different.
Yeah. Then we have the other 6 sections. That is about the ego. No, it's not about holosoma anymore, but it's about your attributes as a consciousness and some important attributes that we have. So, because could be much more attributes here, but yeah, I think I don't know. But when Professor Valdo wrote this book, he chose the ones that he thought was more important to that moment of our evolution.
He couldn't leave them out.
Yeah,
that's the ones that are the prior one, the most important ones that he couldn't leave out.
Yeah. So leadership, communicability, prioritization, that's a difficult word, coherence, conscientiality, universality. So that is the 10 sections and is what we study. Each section has 10 evaluation sheets. Okay? So when we study the soma, we have 10 evaluation sheets about soma, bioenergetic, and so on. So let's go back to our first page, page 39, our first evaluation sheet.
58, 59.
Yeah, 58 and 59. So you see here in the instruction that we have some, in the items, in the questions also, you are going to see some italicization words. That is important because when it's in italic, it calls our attention. It's to call our attention. It's about that word is really important in that question or in that affirmative.
In that context, yes.
In that context. So pay attention when the word is italicized.
Italicized.
Italicized. I don't know.
Or is it in italics?
It's in italic. It's better that way, okay? So that's it. You're gonna see that the questions, they are in a complex order. They start to the basic ones, the simple ones, that we call also more nosographic ones, because it's more for our level, no, or some low level. And the second page, you're gonna see that is more elaborate homeostatic questions. That is more for evolved consciousness. Maybe I'm telling about me, no, because to us there is people that is can have.
Yeah, you
is
can
already
have
in this.
Yeah, you can have
capabilities on both sides. It depends of your.
But it comes from the most basic. Actually, it resembles the evolutionary scale from the most basic.
Mm-hmm.
Most basic
that
behavior,
is
usually not very healthy on the left side, and up to the item that actually summarizes the evaluation sheet, which is the number 20.
Yeah, and that's good because sometimes people say that we use the model of Serenissimi. So, and then some people say, oh, I don't know much about Serenissimi, so how can I answer that? So, the interesting experience I had is that when you start to read and study the Conscientiogram, you start to know more about Serenissimus.
Yes, true.
And in the 20 questions, the last question here, like the 20, no? Here is 20, but the others will be another number. In the last question of the evaluation sheet, that is how Serenissimi behave, So one way of also understand the page is a technique that people use here, is to read the first question, that is the more nosographic, is more or less like as conseils, and read the last one, that is more like a Serenissimi behavior. Okay, then, so it's a level of complexity. So it's starting for the 1 to the 20. And why we are answer the question is good every time to look to the header, because we have to be in the context of what we are analyzing. So what is about the header? You have in the top of the page, out of these lines here, you have intrasomaticity, right? And you're gonna see after 10 page, you're gonna see bioenergetics and so on. That is the section, the 10 sections we have read already. So then, after the section, inside down, you have inside this box, we have intrasomaticity. But here is the case that is the same, but is not. That is the title of the evaluation sheet.
Yes.
Okay? You can see in the next page, we have intrasomaticity, that is the section, and then we have the title is heritability. So we have the title, back to the first one, intrasomaticity, and in parentheses you have conscience and soma. That is the subject. It goes more profound about what we are talking about. We are talking about conscience and soma.
One thing before we continue that I would like to say is that we're going to be using some words sometimes. And there is a glossary on page 200, and if you have any doubts, you can go to the Conscientiometry glossary on page 258. Some of those words that we're going to cover in here are here. For instance, consciex, they are both here. I think conscien is not, but it's consciex. Funny. But
Funny, let's put
it's
there.
okay, let's put there. Conscien.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise we are
yeah,
gonna...
consciex. It would be good also to explain that. Those words, they come from Portuguese. Those are Portuguese acronyms, which stands for,
English.
in English, it stands for intraphysical consciousness, extraphysical consciousness. It's very important. This book aims only conscience. It doesn't aim consciences. So we are evaluating people that are alive. So we are evaluating our lives as conscience.
Yeah.
So that's why many times you're going to find conscient in something, right? So the conscient is the intraphysical consciousness. Me, you, the ones that are alive and can talk using, a mouth. But there are other consciousnesses in this environment here together with us. Those disembodied ones, those phantoms, those extra-physical consciousness, those are the ones we call consciex. So consciex not just had the physical death, is in between lives,
Doesn't have a human body.
Doesn't have a human body. That's good.
Yeah. Well, so, and and then you have the number of the evaluation sheet,
Yes.
because sometimes we say, oh, evaluation sheet 5. It's not the page, it's evaluation sheet, no?
Yes.
And that's important because we are going to talk a lot about the number of the sheet.
Yes, one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And like here also, sometimes we have one thing that calls not applied, no? It's not applied, no? Let me see here, how do you say that in English?
Not applicable.
Not applicable. Not applicable. What is that? It's really important to you to know when a question is not applicable, and so because you're not going to give a grade or you're not going to score it. Okay? So when is not applicable? I'm going to give you an example in the page 80. Okay? Page 80. So 80. Here. You see?
Yes, number 12. Evaluation sheet number 12.
Yes, evaluation sheet number 12. And the question is 225. You see, as a female conscious, how do you react to genochakra, sex, vaginal contraction, gestation, and orgasm? So that does not apply to men. They don't have vaginal, no? Contraction,
yes.
So they cannot evaluate that.
So women are excused from this evaluation on this life, right?
Yeah.
During the current life.
Yes, and so in that case you are gonna put NA.
The male ones.
Yes, that is really important because when we have the graphic, in the end, when you're gonna put in the computer, you're gonna put NA and it's not gonna count. Because if you put a 0, it's not correct. Okay? Because you have to evaluate it. The next question is for men. As male conscious, how do you react to androchakra, impotency, sex, intestine, and orgasm? Here we have sex, we have intestine, we have orgasm, but we don't have impotency. So we cannot evaluate that.
You don't have androchakra.
And he is in androchakra too. No? Androchakra too. So you put NA. Okay? I think that is but sometimes people say, wow, that questions talk about evolutionary due. So it's a NA because I don't have evolutionary due. No, that's not right. If you don't have an evolutionary do, you are missing it. It's a missing trait.
Usually it's zero.
Zero.
Usually
if you
zero.
don't have, yes.
I don't have it. So
also
zero.
penta. No, I don't have penta.
No, I don't practice penta, so it's not applicable. No, it's zero.
It's zero.
What you don't have any experience, it's not bad. It's just I don't have experience. So I don't have experience, it's zero. Yeah. Whatever you don't have experience is what we call missing trait. I still need to develop that trait, right? Or I'm currently without it. So zero.
Zero. And that is important because sometimes the question is really above us, really in a.
Then
sometimes you can even understand the question, not because you don't have word, but you don't achieve that maturity to understand the question. So you just give.
Actually, you have no experience grounds to actually, understand, to put the fundamentals to even understand that. Yes, I have no further experience. I'm naive in that sense. Mm-hmm. So you're naive. It's zero. It's okay. And then with time, maybe you have some experience that will lead you to that. And what's interesting also, sometimes it's not specifically the experience you had there, but it helps you understand it. Understanding the book is also something that's under evaluation. Not interpreting. There are different things. Interpret you can do with any question, but still, after interpreting it, you see that the words make sense and everything, but the idea behind it, I still can't grasp it. So this is understanding. The difference between interpreting and understanding it. For instance, when I tell you, I tell you about Mars, you can interpret, but you can't understand Mars. Sorry. Because you haven't been there. When we say São Paulo, some people interpret, some people understand. That's the difference. Yeah. You see? So this is a good metaphorical way of understanding. One thing is what I can relate, and the other is I've been there. So when people say São Paulo, I remember, I don't know, Sé Square or something like this, whatever, right? Or the place where I lived. I used to live in São Paulo at some point ago. So I remember, I don't know, MASP right away comes to my mind. So this is experience. What it comes to your mind is very important because it comes only to you. And that's the grounds to do conscientiometry. If nothing comes, no grounds, zero. Okay?
Yeah.
No facts.
What you say
That's
is interesting also in another point of view, because sometimes the experience we have with Conscientiogram, sometimes we read a question and we don't understand that page and the section, and we start to work with Conscientiogram and we start to have new experience.
Yes.
So that
very good point.
Open us to new experience. So Conscientiogram is also going to bring us to another level as we study it, because our concept changed because we experience other things, as he was telling. As you experience new things with this concept, yes, it changes.
It's extrapolation, what we call extrapolation. It's a little bit out of our grasp, out of our current understanding and experience, and you have some experience that extrapolates it, and then you start being able to
and there is also
understanding it.
There is also recuperation of cons that is enrolled in the Conscientiogram. Many think we are going to recuperate from our consciousness because we have been there before, but we haven't, we forgot, and then when we start to come again, we rejoin things, and then they come back to us easily. And you're gonna see that too through the course. So let's go again. So it's not applied, I think you understand, but even in the middle of the course you can ask again, and because sometimes you have a doubt, this question is not applicable or is applicable and I'm not seeing. So you can ask us
we're
about
come back to that minute.
Yes. So that if we go also back here to intrasomaticity again, to the page 58, evaluation sheet 1, we have the first statement now that is affirmative. So, a sick is slowly suicide conscious without any justification or cosmoethical attenuations. And then, in parentheses, you have orientation. Sometimes it's gonna appear that orientation for you. So, the orientation here is absolute zero. See page 39, because what is absolute zero, no? See page 39. Actually, it's not 39, it's 40. So you go to page 40, and you're gonna read here, absolute zero. When you encounter the orientation absolute zero, and if you give yourself a zero, on this item, you will be probably give yourself zero for the entire evaluation sheet. So what does it mean? It means that if you give you a zero here, you don't have to answer the other questions. It's a zero. Zero all of them. Why that? If you read the question, is self-explanation, self-explicative, I don't know how the, but it tells to yourself, a sick is slowly suicide conscious without any justification or cosmoetic attenuation. So, is someone that is suiciding slowly, no? Without any justification. There is no justification, no cosmoetic attenuation. If you find that is not our case, it's difficult that a consciousness like a conscience like this come to this course, but no, because it's suicide, it has no motivation for anything, is there, and so
it's not very common to use zeros in the first question. In general, most of the time we have attenuations. When we don't have any attenuations on the first, we give zeros. It's possible, it's not problem, it's not a problem. Actually, we need to understand what's going on. So this is the thing. On this, it's very important to understand. But zero, why it has to do with suicide? Look at the context, conscience and soma. So we are talking about the relationship the conscience has with its own soma, with its own body. So it means the consciousness takes good care, it's very well adapted or not with the current body that she's received on this life. If the person is sick, slowly suiciding, which is killing, consistently killing your body, right? Without any justification or attenuation. There is always an attenuation. Let's say the guy is an alcoholic. He's slowly suiciding. But his father, his mother, his grandfather, they all were alcoholic. It's an attenuation. So it's not zero. Yeah. It might be 0.1, but it's not zero. You understand what I mean? If there is no attenuation because you decided by yourself to be an alcoholic, right? And you're really sick against your own body, not only almost wanting actually to die consciously or unconsciously, then this is zero.
Okay. So also, if you go to that page, but to the last question,
okay,
that
20.
A conscience who always employs the soma correctly with cosmoethics in intraphysical life. There is another orientation here. Orientation full marks. See page 40.
Yeah, we need to be very careful with those questions. Pay attention. There is a specific word that changes everything here. It's called always.
Always.
A conscience that who always means all the time. Every second you employ the soma correctly. Professor Waldo used to say that Serenissimus doesn't, there is no, you don't disperse any effort, any energy, not even a smile. It has no grounds, has no point, has no purpose. You don't blink without purpose. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is the level of things. I'm not blinking without purpose. I think I'm a little far away from that level. So I usually blink randomly. So so I'm not here yet. Yeah. Okay? Always is like this.
Yeah, that's interesting because here in the orientation, full mark, what does it mean? You go again to the page 40 and then you say full marks. When you encounter the orientation full marks, and if you give yourself one, the top mark possible on this item, you will probably give yourself one for every item in the entire evaluation sheet. So if you give one in that one,
don't bother reading the rest.
You don't need to.
You don't bother reading the rest. You're okay. Okay. So Serenissima only has to answer 100 questions. You know, you just answer the 20. If you don't have one on those questions, then you bother to start on the number one. If you have one, it's a good way for you guys to test if you are or not Serenissimo. You know.
Yes.
It's the first test. Well, I failed on the first one, number one. So I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna go through all of the book.
Yeah, like and so sorry. On in the book.
But there might be some Serenissimus here. We never know who is in the course. So.
Or even if you are Serenissimus, you have the Serenissimus behavior in one page, in one evaluation sheet. You know, you can have that. And that might be your strong trait. Or
yes, definitely. You might have one page that is 1. Like you can have a page that's 0. It's okay. You can have a page that's all 1, 20. It's true. You can.
You have a strong trait there.
That's a very strong trait for you. It's natural. It comes with you. It's been developed over a large period of time, and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's possible.
And we see that in some people. You know, sometimes we met people that has the parapsychism really developed, like a projection, just do it, but it's anti-cosmoetic. And there is other traits that is not developed. Even the evolutionary intelligence is not there, so doesn't know what to do. Sometimes is afraid of that, doesn't know what to do with that, and developed it in the past lives. No? That's something that happened. Okay, and so you're going to have more too. Like in the page 227, you have 227, evaluation sheet 8.5. And the question, the item is 1,700, right? A conscience who experienced the intraphysical existence with cosmoetical plenitude. So, and then the orientation is full marks with honors. When I see with honors, I think that might be really difficult to achieve, because if you put with honor, no, it might be so difficult to achieve that. Is maybe even some...
Yeah, this question might look simple, but if you look on 1699, you're going to see that Look, what's the quality of your personal connection with multidimensional hopeful scenes of the axis and helpers? It is hard.
It's hard.
It sounds even harder than 1700, but it's understandable. If you live with cosmoetical plenitude, that means all the time, and there is no glimpse of problems. You are always more than enough for your life. You're more than enough. So.
Yes. It's an evaluation sheet with
I'm not there.
with honor, no, with really.
This is a nice evaluation sheet. Yeah.
Yeah.
85.
And then you have absolute zero. Where's the other one?
Oh, this is also here on here absolute zero also.
Oh yes, and then you have no absolute zero we did already, but then you have zero for this item.
Okay.
That this you also can encounter zero for this item. Like here in the I saw in evaluation sheet 6. Psychometricity.
Page 68.
Page 68. So a conscience who hypertrophy the soma muscles at the cost of shrink the brain. No, these muscles, these guys that do
a couple of guys
a lot, and there is lots of muscles. But when you are gonna, talk, and it doesn't know anything, even where he is in life, his position in life, doesn't have just the muscles. That is. If the person gives absolute zero here, doesn't mean that it's gonna give zero in all the others, like when it's absolute zero, no?
Yeah, you can give zero and continue.
And continue.
It's not zero on the whole page.
Yes, it's just zero in this question. So when you see zero, it's just zero in the question. When you see absolute zero, it's the zero in the whole page.
It of course has to do with the item itself. So the item, when it's more encompassing, as far as the context is concerned, that's why it's absolute. This one is not as encompassing, it's very specific. So if you get zero, you don't get zero on the rest of the page.
So what else?
Sheet.
Here in the evaluation sheet, we can see also two holes, no? Two square holes. That is empty.
Oh yeah.
What is that for? No. If we come back to the page to evaluation sheet 1, intrasomaticity, conscience and soma. So we are gonna see again our page here, and we are gonna see these two square. That is to you to put your score. That Djalma is gonna present now. How do you score everything? How to do it? Yeah. But that is to you to put your score. So the first one, you can, why two, no? Why we put two instead of one? Then you can use this book again, and you have a space to score with a different technique, because here we have several techniques and several, how do you call it, techniques to use?
Yeah, we have grading techniques as
Grading techniques. So
marking methods.
Marking methods.
Marking methods.
So you can mark different in one box, and then you can use your book again to mark down in a different mark way, okay? Yeah. That's it. And in the end of the page you have here these boxes also, okay? So here you have the average mark. That Djalma is going to explain then how to do all this. But here you're going to put the date, the average, and other things that is coming from your analysis. That's good. Anyone have any question about this evaluate sheet? Are you getting familiar with that? Some of you already use it, so now we are explaining, because it's really important, this first part of starting understand it, then it's now the work goes much
Much
easier,
smoother, yes.
smoother, yes.
Very good. And to
Okay.
give the grades, as Magali was saying, we use the rapid analysis technique, which is on page 41, if you want to go there. There's a definition. It's interesting to go through the definition. The rapid analysis technique is a resource for self-evaluation based on a fast appreciation of the question and a mental elaboration of the personal causalities that are the foundation of the response that will be represented by a mark. Everything that we're going to cover on the Conscientiogram has to do with facts. So we don't want to spend too long. We can do a very profound analysis, but fast. Why is it that we can do it fastly? Because what is important is the first things that come about as you read and understand the question. Your experiences are going to come. Your memory is going to be moved around. Your brain memory, also your parabrain is going to be moved around. At this point, you're going to come with facts. Those facts are the one that you're going to use to balance and score. So, the technique is very recommended to self-researchers, especially when they're beginning. Right? What do you do? Look at facts. The analysis should be performed based on real facts from your life. So you're going to remember that. Your behavior in those personal experiences. And you're going to compare it to the Serenissimi. But I don't know the Serenissimi. The idea of comparing with the Serenissimi here is that we're not going to compare to the social average. What is socially accepted is not what we are talking about in the Conscientiogram, because socially accepted has to do with customs, has to do with the current situation on Earth. We're talking about what we are doing as far as our personal evolution is concerned, and has to do with that thread that's called seriexis, the serial existential experiences. So you're gonna see the ones that bothers us mostly usually are because there are problems in the past, or we are tired of them. We are kind of saturated with those problems. So when it's bothersome, that's why people don't like it very much, because in the beginning you see things that, or you feel things that are bothersome. So when you feel those things, it has to do with your personal experience. So you go back to the facts and see the causality of those feelings, and then you start seeing if they are or not on, let's say, what a Serenissimus might do. What's the Serenissimus might do? Let's say the highest level of cosmoethics that you can understand at that point, at this point. What is the highest level of cosmoethics? We have an understanding of that too. If it bothers you, it's because your level of cosmoethics is here and what you're doing is here. There is a conflict. What bothers is a conflict. As soon as you see that this gap here is expressed by your score, there is a certain feeling of scoring right. Oof, it's a bad score or a low score, but I feel good about it. It's funny thing. Funny thing is, yes, it's because I finished with my conflict, because I could accept and understanding my cosmoethical gap at that point. My cognition changed towards that. So that grading process is really important. We're going to make mistakes. And those mistakes, the good news is making mistakes is expected, and it's also part of the analysis. Later, when you're gonna see later on, like years after your own analysis, when you come back, as Magali was saying, and you see the old, you go there, you analyze, you see the old grade, you see there is a difference. Sometimes you went up, or sometimes you went down. You went down not because you went back. It's because your understanding of that is better, more profound, broader, and then you see the real gap you are, and then you give a better grade to yourself on that item. And also you make peace with yourself better. Mm-hmm. You don't need to prove yourself or feel better with yourself just because you're getting a grade. This is not going to school, so getting good grades is not our objective here, because you are what you are now. The thing is to get the right grade. That's the difference. Getting better grades is not gonna happen overnight, because you're a consequence of thousands of years. So now, giving grades is different from class, where we can cheat. We can have high grades even though we don't know a lot because we answered correctly. That's cheating, right? Because I don't know that 7 I got, I don't know 70% of the whole subject. I got 7 from that specific test. That's cheating. We're not looking for that. We're looking for the real objective subjectivity. I need to be very objective about my subjectivity. So you know what's the percentage, you know. So you give your grade. I did the thing, but I knew like 55%. So my grade should be 55. I know that's 55. So that's the grade that we're looking for, the 55, not the 7. Mm-hmm. Okay? So this is how you grade yourself. And that's so good when you actually can do that and you can be yourself. Wow, that's very important. That's the objective of it.
And in the end, give you a better picture of you and where you have to be more attentive, improve. Because I was thinking while you were talking about my experience with Soma. And Soma is a great section for me. It's
good grade.
Good grade, It's
a strong trait.
A strong trait. But when I was thinking about the second question here, what you analyze of your biotype, what's your physical constitution, personality, and holosomatic being. So I remember that Professor Wald said to me, a strong trait, he said, you've been man in the last life, and now you're a woman. And you don't have problem. If you're a man, you're a macho man. And if you're a woman, you're feminine. So you're really good on that. And when I analyze myself here, and that's good, I admit that. But also, I see that I have some problems with my Soma and my personality. Because, I use high heels. Because I'm 1 meter and 60, no? 1 meter. I don't know how to speak that in English because they use another measure. Feet also, inches, yes, or feet, no? Yeah, I don't know. Like Jeffrey is not here, he cannot tell, but I'm smaller. I'm, how do you say, baixinha?
Yeah.
Short.
I'm
short. So that makes me that makes me compensate because I'm a woman, I have a culture, and that makes me uncomfortable. So that is a kind of not adapting very well, not accepting very well the Soma. And think about Serenissimo. He wouldn't care about it. He came as, how do you say?
There was one that was oligophrenic.
Oligophrenic. And he was there using his body as, now, and sometimes I say, wow, my hair is so mess, I cannot go out, I cannot do that.
Because finally, intrasomaticity has to do with the tooling, right? Mm-hmm. This is a tool. It's an evolutionary tool. Mm-hmm. It's an assistential tool. So I need to be capable of using and comfortable using this tool.
Adapted to that body, not thinking about what is, I'm smaller and that and be uncomfortable. But that is my reality.
Yeah.
So I cannot grade, and I can give a good grade because I have strong traits on that. But also, like here is saying personality, no? What's your physical constitution, personality, and all somatic being? Why? Because that hold me in my personality, in stress myself as a consciousness when I have to use high heels or I have to compensate myself because, I want to show this like beauty, I want to, that I don't have that much anymore. I used to have much more when I was adolescent. But, it can be part of the culture, but part is me. It's not adapting as I am like in this, how I am in this body. So that's why is sometimes, and so I don't grade very well here. But that is my maximum, my strong trait.
Yes.
So that's
one of the ways that I usually give the grade there is like, I will see if it's a strong trait. Actually a strong trait. In that sense, that specific one, even though Soma is a strong trait, she doesn't recognize that as a strong trait. So usually, when it's not a strong trait, is below the level. Level for me is 5. Right?
Mm-hmm.
5 is a level. There is a level. 51% strong trait.
Is a strong,
49% not strong. It's not strong. It's almost a strong trait, right? So then I grade here. But what I use as a model to see if it's a strong or not is the Serenissimos. So it's when I'm capable of using it naturally. In an ample way of doing it. So let's go into the steps here, which is going to help you. We can go over that during the course again if you need, okay? And you can also read those as you use, right? So there are 5 steps arranged in functional order. No. There's an excellent question from Sophie. She's asking, does the whole past behavior count for the evaluation as well, or only the actual state and behavior? Actually, what really interests is the actual state and behavior. But, attention, your relationship with the whole past is what is on stake here. Look, you might have bad things in the past, but what's your relationship with it? How are you coping with that? How is it for you, all of that? Is it peaceful? Because Serenissimi, they made a lot of mistakes in the past, but it seems like they are at ease with that. They have been also not compensating, but they have been doing retribution for all of that. So they've been making themselves free on those things. So the current situation has to do with the level of freedom that you have towards the past thing. So this is the relationship that's been there. But there are 2 things. The relationship is the way you see it, the way, the level of pathology on the relationship with something. For instance, I killed someone. Let's say I killed a lot of people. But how I see that? How is my relationship with that after a lot of effort to retribute that? Now I'm very much at ease, in peace with that situation. I understand myself there, as I understand other people in the same situation, so I can help other people as well. So even though that past is bad, I developed a strong trait towards my bad past. Bad past is a very good potential to develop a mega strong trait, if you think about it, because you're going to be working on that a long time to actually retribute a lot of people. You're going to be specialized on that. You're gonna be knowing all about it, so you can help a lot of people that has the same problem on the way. So this is interesting. So this is a way of seeing it. I don't know if you understand, if it's good to for you to give the grade there.
Yeah. That is what you were talking was about also the de-dramatization of the things, because when we see our weak traits with de-dramatization, help us to look at ourselves and improve. You know, if you don't see what is wrong, you cannot improve. So, and wrong is not necessarily bad, exactly, because some things is what it is. It's just what you learned till now, and now you have an opportunity of go faster, because what we do in conscientiology help us to go faster. So you want to go faster, you first have to pass through this. I think conscientiometry is a really important tool for everyone that wants to be a conscientiology. Because if you don't know who are you, or actually you don't know where you are in the position of evolution, you don't know what to do. And so there is some people that stay in the idealization
of things,
of what I am, and you're not like this, even for more or for less. Sometimes we see us much better in some traits and less in others. And is that true?
Yeah, that's why we talk about the principle of disbelief. There is also self-disbelief. Sometimes we have some beliefs that have been developed just because I believe this is like this. I believe this is bad. You believe this is bad. What are the grounds? Why is it based this way? I don't know, but this is an emotional relationship. So I need to know what is my relationship with that. That's very, very important.
To be more scientific with yourself. And one thing, you start to be a more secure person, because it gives you security. I know, not that you know everything, but you have basis. You know some things profound about yourself. So when come these intruders and they come to you to you say, yes, I know exactly. I'm like this. You're sure. You're right. And then the person say, what? Yes.
Or sometimes you say, no, he's lacking something. Yeah. You don't know about that, and that, and that. I'm also that.
So you stay.
You're not listening to the parasocial network, like Facebook. You haven't been very good in the Facebook about myself. Yeah. There's been a lot of bad posting about me.
And you stay less vulnerable, no?
You become less vulnerable about things. Yes, that's the relationship that you have. What people have in relation to you, usually not very important. It's important to measure you, right? you're gonna measure your impact on others. That's very important. For instance, if I impact intruders, that's not bad. You know, if on their election they don't vote for me, I think usually this is good. This is good. You know, so don't want to be popular where you shouldn't be
They
popular.
vote.
Biosphere, I like them being scared of me sometimes. Yeah, they are sometimes scared of me. Or sometimes they're angry with me. That's okay also, you know, because this is just a mirror of themselves. They are angry with themselves, and I'm already becoming a mirror. So this is a good grade that you're getting because of that. Think about it.
Yeah.
Usually people are afraid of intruders because of that.
Yeah, they vote for Trump.
Well, we have more consrails in the world, so we're going to have a lot of them, you know, ahead of countries. I don't think we have that many as we have now. Now it's an interesting situation. It's nice to be here. It's an honor to be here
We have
with so
our
many.
break now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
We have just now.
Okay, let's have a break before we go into the steps. And to finish, today we have the class chronogram, optimizations, and the commitments. Okay? After the break.
So, see you in a few moments.
Okay. All right, guys. Sorry, our mistake. Because usually we have some time that we give to for yourselves to analyze some of the things that we are doing here with the questions and everything. But on this class, let's take advantage of the time because we have little time to cover some of the subjects here. Okay?
Okay, let's see if everyone is there. Is everything okay?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
That's
go
good.
back.
Sorry.
So let's go for the steps. And step number 1 is read the header section and seek to expand your understanding. The header section that Magali was talking about, and seek to expand your understanding of the variables exposed as they represent the framework for the analysis of the 20 items. So the first thing is to understand this section. Then you read each item, starting with the first. Seek to understand the terms and concepts. Sometimes there are some terms that you don't understand. You go to the dictionary and everything, books, or physical, or a line. Or if you can't understand, you make out a question for us, and then we will help you afterwards, okay? For each item, then, after you understand the concept, or you actually are able to start interpreting it. So for each item, reflect on your personal causalities. Recall facts experienced with the greatest possible impartiality. Let me do one here, just for you. I open any one, 945. What's your most precise notion of the current existence, of your potentialities, aptitudes, resources, and the character of your followers? So if I stop to think about it, so right now, as a matter of fact, as far as Djalma is concerned, that's the best situation. I'm 55 years old, and my understanding of my current existence is very good. I think this is one of my strong traits here. I have a very good understanding of my potentialities. And my followers, which is ourselves here. Followers is the ones that follow us on Twitter, follow us. Now you have followers easier than in the beginning of this thing. Followers are the ones that actually are interested in the same subjects as you. You leader those. And also the ones that you assist. So what's the level of the consciences that you assist? Then I start thinking how it is my Penta doing, how it is my courses. I have you guys as students, so my grade is getting better. I have so many good people now, such a good team here working with me. So I should have 5 on this. I would give me a 5 on this one. Not more than 5. No, because I'm not that, knowing my existence, but it's a strong trait. So I would give me a 5. That's how I would give, because I give you some of the experience that I'm having right now. I could go into details. I'm not going to spend too long on details of situations that came to my mind. So those situations you point out. I would point out the situations of the classes I'm giving, the people I'm relating in my work in Africa, the people I'm relating with my work on business-wise, my relationship with people of my family. So those are the things that came to my mind right now. So you use them to grade. That was really fast. I didn't have to talk too much, but look at how many things it came out to my mind, and I can already give you a mark on that right away, okay? On top of the thing. That's the reflection you need to give. So, I position and a marking method. Let's go to the marking method, which is on page 42. There is the decimal. I strongly recommend that we use the option 1 decimal to start instead of the binary. Binary is yes, no. Instead of giving a 5, I would give 0 or 1. So that would be a 1 if I was on the binary method. Since it's a decimal, 0 to 10, I used 5. So this is decimal. I went from 0 to 10. 10 would be like serenísimos, right? So I'm halfway there in that sense. That's how I see it. So it's a strong trait already.
A 0 to 1. Yeah.
A 0 to 1, if you want. A 0.5.
Yes,
Okay, 0.5. You can use 5.5. People sometimes want to give very small things like 0.35. It's also possible. Usually from 0 to 10 or from 0 to 1, as she was mentioning, 0.5 is good enough to start working with that. And what I do is that I divide strong traits from 5 to 1 and still weak traits from 5 to 0. Or non-existent traits, it's already 0.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the way I do it. So that's the marking method on number 4. And number 5, after repeating the procedure with all 100 yeses, use the Conscientiogram summary, page 323. We also are going to show you how to use a spreadsheet, but a little further.
Page what?
323. 323.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. By the end of the book,
Maybe change.
Oh, here it's 320.
320, yes.
320. So this is where you actually organize each average for each evaluation sheet. How do you do the average? You give the grades for every
Question.
item, every question. So you're going to have 20 grades, right? You sum it up, divide by 20. That's the average. It's a simple average. You sum all the 20 and divide by 20. Okay, and you're going to get the average. So the average is what you write here. We have a spreadsheet to do this in a much easier way. You have the access to this spreadsheet as well. You can download it. I'm not going to explain the spreadsheet today. It's not the focus yet. The idea is that you start getting acquainted with the Conscientiogram first, then we go into those. One of the things important is the class chronogram, which we were discussing before. How is it done? Listen, the first ES that we're going to be working here tomorrow, next Sunday, it's not tomorrow, next Sunday, on our next class, our next encounter, is going to be ES number 3, because this is the 3rd edition. The first edition started on ES number 1, then ES number 5, then ES and so forth. ES number, and we have, here's going to be different. Look, if you go on the CWD calendar, on the next class, it's going to be Luimara. She's going to be the one heading the class number 3 about Soma, and the ES number 3 is minority. Page 62, child consent. So that is about our infanthood, is about our child period. Okay, that's where we're going to be evaluating.
Yeah,
we're going to be discussing this in class.
So it's good. This week, that's really important. You are going to start to evaluate yourself, answering the questions, give a grade to each item for the 5 first evaluation sheet in Soma. Okay, just to remember that.
Actually, this is for next week, but you can start now if you can.
No, it's the next week they have to have already this.
No, the first 5 is going to, they can start, you can start,
no
problem.
Okay, I understood that they have.
For next class, when we explain the 3rd, you're going to answer. For as a homework, you're going to answer number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 5. That's for the whole week. You try to answer them. Any questions that you might have, you're going to bring it back to us. So the other, on the 18th, which is the 4th, we're going to be working on number 8. So you're going to always be like this: 3, 8, 13, 18, and so forth. Okay? This is going to be the ones that we're going to be covering. So those that we cover here, we go one by one and explain and give examples and discuss together and take doubts online. You might give grades, you might not, it's up to you. You can give grades afterwards, but we make sure you understand that one. With that understanding, helps you understand the other 5 ones that are somewhat related on the same section. So we are going to be covering a section on 2 classes. So class number 3 and class number 4 is going to cover for the soma or intrasomaticity section. Okay, that's very important. Let's go to the class chronogram to see what is going to happen every class. That's why this here.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. Usually, you should check in. You can open the class chronogram. That's why we made a mistake today. That she was following the class chronogram, which is But
Yeah.
this is an exception. Today and yesterday was the exception. Next class is gonna be this way, okay? So check in. You're gonna be checking in from 11:45 to 12, actually, to make sure you're gonna be online by 12 and not missing the beginning of it. From 12 to 15, we're gonna be updating, giving notices, recap from previous classes, right? Sometimes some of the doubts we're going to be covering at this point, doubts from the beginning. If we can't cover the doubts online, we're going to be giving you answer offline as well for your doubts, so don't worry. Then we have enegometry, as we had today, from 12:15 to 12:30. This is the chronogram. There is this file here. You can open it if you want. From 12:15 to 12:30 enegometry. So we work with energy just like we've done today. Then from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, we respond to the questions that were sent via email. So this is the time we are going to be covering your doubts. From 1 o'clock to 1:30 in Brazil time, we are going to be doing the exposition of the evaluation sheet. So expositive, conscientiometric evaluation. That's group. Then, so we're going to be discussing here. From 1:30 to 1:45, that's why she stopped 15 minutes. You're going to be doing your self-conscientiometric field. So you're going to be working by yourselves. Then you can answer some of the questions that we discussed here, cover the ones that we haven't covered here by yourselves, and we wrap up on the 15 minutes by the end, just like we are starting to wrap up as well this class today. Yes. Okay, and then we finish. So all the classes are very dynamic, a lot of work, but it works fine, as you're gonna see. Okay.
We have some optimization and some commitments that we have to discuss.
Maybe cover the commitments first. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we go to the. Okay, so commitments. You're gonna, if you can open, that's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Some of those commitments is some. This is like a code that a cosmetical code, grupal code that we commit ourselves as a group during the course. Okay? So number one, self-conscientiometry. The optimal behavior of students participating in the online course is to put themselves in laboratory condition of self-conscientiometric examination. What is this? Is you open up yourself to a laboratory. So you're questioning, you're analyzing, you're in the scientific behavior, everything is evidence, and you examine all the evidences and try to get to some conclusion. Okay, that's the idea. You wanna go for
identification, that is just put your name there, identify yourself as you have been doing. That's okay. Environment. Because it's an online course, the personal learning environment and self-research needs to be optimized by the students themselves, thus developing holosomatic organization and capacity to deep your own level of self-conscientiometry. So just be committed with that study, to go deep in yourself, and organize yourself during the week, organize yourself to do that. Is a task that you're not going to regret, because it's about yourself, it's a time for yourself. So commit with that.
Couples, very important this point. Every intraconsciential recycling, every time we change something, we decide to change something inside out, this reverberates around intra and extra physical environments. That means we're gonna mess a little bit with our extra physical ecosystem, and this consequently requires that you be very attentive. You know that this might spill something on your families, on your couple, most direct relationship that you have, family relationship, because we are going to be, as we say, raising the dust of some of the subjects that we're going to go through. Because when we touch some of those things, there are also people that are related to that. This is also self and group conscientiometry. You touch that subject, it reverberates. And it's good to see that. But pay attention, because you might be surprised as far as at some point.
Yes.
Okay?
That is related also with responsibility, self-respect and respect for other consciousness not involved in the course is cosmoethical. It is worthwhile to meet the minimal criteria for participation in order to preserve the safety of others through the self-responsibility of the students. So the course is for yourself. You should not put other people with you. So that is really important. It's a closed course with the inscription person, so it's cosmoethical with all the group and all the other people that could come and have an impact about that. So that's it.
Yeah.
Just be careful and responsible in regard of that.
Sophisticated reasoning. The posture suggests to students participating in the online course is to seek to understand the issues relating to your personal sophisticated reasoning, self-sincerity, transparency, and also assertiveness. So what we mean is try to open up to get a broader view. Go more to the para-brain, as we are saying, you know. The goal is to de-dramatize and take preventive measures favorable to health recycling. So this is the idea of it.
Yeah. And so 7, disbeliefology. Application of principle of disbelief is recommended regarding all comments and feedback. The information brought by conscientiometry's teachers should be critically evaluated with discernment, aiming to deep self-research. So we talked that in the first class too. We talked about that. So be, critic. Have a scientific posture. You can disagree. You can think with yourself and see what we are bringing here. Is that good for you? You can use. How is your experience? So don't even get all of what we are doing, what we are telling you, but also don't throw away, like, not do your research. So use that to research yourself.
Yeah, the laboratory posture is to get the information and double check. Mm-hmm. It's like internet. You go there, someone tells you something on Facebook. I go there and I see, okay, this is fake. You need to check it. You will check if it's fake or not for yourself with your own experience. So you double check with your reality, with your facts and everything. Okay? Secrecy. This is very important. Thosenic discretion and confidentiality regarding personal information shared during the course is the basic slogan for all participants, students, teaching staff, and support staff with the use of text or video does not refer to oneself being forbidden. So, what we mean is everything that is personal is the principle of non-disclosure. Our classes, everything that people tells us, I close the door, usually I leave everything behind. I don't even keep on thinking what people were telling me about their own lives. This is very important. Thosenic thoughts, sentiment, energies, discretion. It's not only talking about it. So if people open up and tell you something, and then you afterwards you go to remember that? No, you don't want to go there. You are not going to go there unless there is the right situation. Why is it? This is a field here. There is some energy. There's everything. So this is the proper situation for us to open up, to expose some of our things. So when you're exposed that, it's just there. We close it and that's it. No contaminations afterward. Not even thought contamination. That's very important.
That's really important, people. And also you cannot share the videos, just these videos that are open.
Public.
So we have that are public. The other videos is just for you. You cannot share with other people, okay? That's it. Right?
Yes, that's it about the...
There is optimizations
Yes.
that we have talked around.
Already,
Yes,
some of the...
we have talked. It's about a vibrational state, energetic field, no?
Dictionary,
interruptions.
interruptions.
So stay in a place that you cannot be interrupted. On the location that you're gonna watch us, you know, and the interassistential network. No, we have a Penta
Practitioners. Yes.
We have an email in that file we send for you. That is the NEPS at conscious.org.br. That is for Penta. If you see that things starts to be difficult, just send your name, the reasons, and there is this assistance network.
It's a nice tool.
And always here during the course always seeks to maintain attention of self-perceptions. Take notes for the future research. Yes, the notes is really important. You have also a space in the book for take notes. Okay?
Okay.
Let's do our disassimilation, okay? Just close your eyes and start to feel again. Be in contact with your energosoma. Relax your soma and start to move your energy. You can exteriorize your energy through the chakras. Try first for the coronal chakra, frontal chakra, and nuchal chakra. Exteriorize also through your laryngeal chakra. Include also your cardio chakra. Now your splenical chakra. Include also your umbilical chakra. Your palmar chakra and sexual chakra. Exteriorize also for plantar chakra. exteriorize with the intention of doing the hygiene, energetic hygiene. Use your willpower to exteriorize your energy through all your energosoma. Install a vibrational state, an instantaneous vibrational state. Feel your energies, see if you have any block point and work with that. Okay, you can relax and slowly coming back, opening your eyes, breathe. Okay.
Okay.
So we thank all of you. We want to ask your feedback about the transmission today. So because we are testing this new transmission and some of you have seen the other transmission, so let's see, we are going to talk here to Marconi to see which one we are going to use, if we are going to do more testing or not. But we let you know. So have a nice week. I hope you can already start with the book.
Yes.
Just
feel free if you want to start.
If you want
please,
to start, it's good. Okay.
If you want to wait for next week, we'll see you next week, right?
That's great.
You have a nice week. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.